What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Voiceovers Podcast. Today we are going to be talking about Jcole versus Kendrick Lamar. Now, we want to start off by saying that both of us are huge fans of both Jcole and Kendrick Lamar. This video is not targeted or not intended to downplay either one of these rappers. Both of these men are amazing artists. We both have them in the top 10 greatest rappers of all time easily. So, with that being said, I'm gonna let you start off. So, when you think about Cole versus Kendrick, it's not a crazy statement to say that J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar are the two greatest rappers of our generation.
Sure.
You could throw Drake. Well, Drake is in that conversation.
Yeah, he's the big three.
Yeah. The hip hop fans have become somewhat divided on the topic, though, because you have, and I talked about this in our last video when we had talked about J. Cole's songs. You have some hip hop fans that think that the gap between Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole is like this because they might think Kendrick is way better. Then you have fans like us that think that if there is a gap, the gap is very narrow to no gap at all.
Yeah.
I always say that Cole does some things better than Kendrick, and Kendrick does some things better than Cole. What's your take?
Yeah, I agree because I didn't say I pointed it out, but we was talking one day. It was like, who is the best out of Drake, Kendrick, and Cole? And then we was like, they all have something that they can do better, whether it's lyrics or other things. So yeah, let's get into like a lot of things. I want to start with music videos. I feel like music videos is a good thing.
Okay.
They both have great music videos.
They do. I think between the two, I would have to say that Kendrick has the greatest video between the two because I'm thinking about All Right. Now, that's not to say that Cole doesn't have great music videos, because he does. The Wet Dreams video, the first time I watched it, it was not what I expected.
Yeah, like dogs.
it was a clever move by Cole.
I don't know, something about the GOMB video.
It made a great statement about like how back in those days the lighter skinned people
was
the
in
light
the
skinned
house.
people,
Yeah,
they were the quote unquote house Negroes, and they had more privileges and whatnot.
Yeah.
Great statement made in that video. But like when I watch All Right, and I was watching the video the other day, I thought about the clip in the beginning where Kendrick and his boys were in the car, and Kendrick did the Butterfly song, like the little mini clip.
Yeah. That song never released.
I wish that song was a real song, or a song on that album. But they were jamming to that, and they zoomed out, and you see the police officers carrying the car. And of course, that album and that song came out around the height of the Black Lives Matter movement because of the police brutality and whatnot. So both of them are very conscious rappers, very politically conscious rappers.
Yeah, I feel like we should talk more about these music videos.
Yeah,
I feel like maybe Kendrick would have him beat because I'm thinking about the Humble music video now. Mm-hmm. It was cool, like the visual effects, and I forgot who directed it, but he directed a lot of stuff in the 90s and 2000s.
Kendrick gives you more of a... Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, the music video director, but you can get to
Kendrick gives you more of a more cinematic vibe to his music videos.
Yeah.
And if we shift over to albums, obviously Good Kid, Mad City, it literally says it on the album cover, a short film by Kendrick Lamar, and you do get a very cinematic feel with that album. Yeah.
And also the Love music video, the DNA, Loyalty, All the Stars. That was a great music video.
Yes.
I loved like the visuals and that was a great music video.
Now, as hard as it is for me to say it, because ultimately I am a bigger J. Cole fan than I am a Kendrick Lamar fan. When you talk about who's better, like I said, both of them are better than each other at different things. If you're asking me who is the more creative and more artistic artist, I'm going to have to give that to Kendrick Lamar. Now, if you ask me who does a better job at making you feel their music, making you feel his music, making you cry almost, pulling at your heartstrings, I'm going to get at the J. Cole.
Yeah.
If I listen to an album like Born Sinner a song like Crooked Smile, watching that music video, something like that would make me cry. The Heart Part 5 did kind of get me emotional towards the end when he had showed Kobe and then Nipsey when they did the deep fake CGI thing.
That was pretty cool little thing how he did with that song. The ATM music video by J. Cole, that was also
very creative. Very creative.
Yeah, with the money and like how he gave an arm and a leg for a car or whatever. I pay attention to these music videos, so they're both pretty creative. They both have like messages that they put in their music videos. So yeah, dang, they're like tired of music videos when I think about it.
In a way. And also, back to the creativity thing, Kendrick, like, okay, for example, we both agree that J. Cole has classic albums, right? And so does Kendrick. When I listen to an album like To Pimp a Butterfly and I listen to the song Mortal Man, when he had brought Tupac in at the end and him and Pac were having that conversation, that was something that I would have never expected any artist to do. Not saying that it's a super difficult thing to do, but the conversation felt and sounded so real as if Pac was still here. And even like the instrumentals and whatnot that was used on an album like To Pimp a Butterfly, I don't get that same effect from Cole. But here's where Cole has another upside. He produces a lot of his own stuff. That's not taken away from Kendrick.
But creativity wise,
From that aspect, yes. Now, of course, Kendrick has worked with better producers like Dr. Dre. So he kind of has an upper hand in that aspect.
Yeah.
It goes back to what we both said. They're better than each other at different things.
Yeah.
Who you think is better in terms of just pure rapping? Like, who is a better wordsmith, so to speak? Who is a better lyricist? I want to give a slight edge to Kendrick.
I would say Cole. But like I said, they neck and neck. It's like, it's so hard to compare them, Or even like he was referring to Drake, but a lot of people have used this. In Middle Child, he was like, they're like two legends cannot coexist. I feel like that's how we should look at this conversation.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you ultimately want to ask, I feel like they both have, there's like no cons to them. It's like both pros and pros, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Like again, each one of them is better than each other at something. Cole might be better at this. Kendrick might be better at this. Cole might be better at this. Kendrick might be better at this. So it's a back and forth cycle. It's give or take with them. Of course, the die-hard Kendrick fans are going to say Kendrick. The die-hard Cole fans like us, we want to say Cole. But we also don't want to be super biased all the time. We want to have moments where we're objective. And from a lyrical standpoint, from just pure rapping, I think I would have to give the nod to Kendrick slightly. Although at times I have seen Cole rap better. Like if you go back and listen to the LA Leakers freestyle.
Yeah, like that was insane.
And then the album of the year freestyle.
That was also insane.
But I've seen Kendrick just rap crazy on songs like Family Ties. You go back to his older catalogs, his Control verse. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't even know why I'm asking this because I feel like it won't happen.
The collab album?
Yes.
Y'all gonna bring it up too, man.
God, do you think we're ever gonna get that?
I was really about to bring this up
because they're at such a late stage in their career where it's like him. Well, it's like Kendrick, Cole, and Drake. They're all competing for that top spot. So it's like if they do a collab album, but they all have a good respect for each other.
Yeah. I mean, it would be cool if we had all three of them like on the same song one day.
I thought you were gonna say an album.
An album could work too, but this video is strictly for Kendrick and Cole. Everybody has wanted this collab album for a while. That would be. The Voice of the Heroes was good, but I feel like that would be the best collab album since Watch the Throne by Kanye and Jay-Z.
Agree. It could be better.
Potentially,
Could be. Kendrick and Cole, Kanye and Jay-Z. They still have some ways to go, but I would not be mad at anybody for saying that duo is pushing towards being just as great as and they're not really a duo. I'm just saying from the standpoint
like if they were, it would have been insane.
Because we have seen them do 2 songs together. One of them, the Black Friday song.
Yeah, and the other thing was Forbidden Fruit.
Yeah, but Black Friday, we actually got to hear both of them rap on each other's beats.
Yeah, and that was pretty cool.
J. Cole, of course, rapped on All Right beat, and Kendrick had rapped on the what was it? Was it a Tale of Two? No, not a Tale of Two Cities.
I thought it was. Was it? We'll verify that later.
It was a Tale of Two Cities.
Okay, yeah.
It was a Tale of Two Cities. He rapped on that beat, and both of them crushed it.
Yeah.
If they could turn that into a full album where they're picking and whatnot, mix matching and whatnot, I think we're in for a very special album.
Yeah, but that's if we ever get it. Or even a song. Or even a photo of them together. I think there has been photos of them together.
Multiple. Yeah. Both of them have a great respect for each other. I think that when it's all said and done, or just right now at this moment, who has had a bigger impact, I would say
they're still tied.
From a more political, socially conscious impact type of thing, I would give that more to Kendrick. But for more of speaking to a certain audience on a more personal level about appreciating what you got in things like, in songs like Love Yours. Yeah. Speaking to the audience about just dealing with everyday life, the person going through a certain type of struggle, going to school, coming home, having to deal with home life, going back. I think from that standpoint, J. Cole has been more of the impactful artist of being more, I don't want to say a people's person, but being more of a down to earth type of, everybody can relate to this guy. Kendrick is like I might get some heat for saying this, he's almost like the Tupac of our generation.
I wouldn't say he was a Tupac, because think of the stuff Tupac did, like with him getting arrested, or even his energy and all that, I feel like Kendrick and Cole have been way more calmer than what Tupac was,
Absolutely.
They didn't get tied up in beef and all this other stuff,
And that's what I like about them. Both of them down to earth,
chilling way back,
Yeah, and they drop great music. They let their music do the talking.
Yeah, and I feel like they were really the only rappers, like especially like newer rappers, who were still talking about like the community and stuff like that, and and just in terms of talent, like they are the raw talent, because I'm fairly certain they have influenced a lot of the newer artists up and coming.
Oh yeah.
So they still is tied. Even after this whole conversation, I would still say they tied. Like I can't have a preference. The personal, I would say J. Cole, but you think of Kendrick's catalog, you like yes. You think of Cole catalog, you like yes. And they both have done high numbers. They both work with multiple artists and everything.
Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers are the off season.
Off season.
Me too.
Off-season.
Although Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers was a better concept album. I will have to admit that it was a better concept album. But just in terms of rapping and just song for song, I think the off season has had, or does have, more replay value than Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers.
Kendrick Lamar had his Super Bowl performance. What was it, last year, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was cool how that had worked. But I feel like J. Cole should have his own Super Bowl performance. Or even Kendrick have his own Super Bowl performance.
Their own Super Bowl performance.
Yeah, like that would be cool to see,
Like they're the headline act. I could see that.
Because, Kendrick Lamar, when he went on the tour, that was pretty big. Or I remember when J. Cole had performed at the All-Star game a few years back. That was pretty cool. So their performances, they're cool. Like they're good performers. Great performers.
And another thing, just looking at the stat sheet that I had drew up, bro. Again, the gap, if there is a gap between them, which I don't really think there is, but if it is a gap, it's very narrow. Like, if you just want to talk about numbers, Kendrick is the 7th most, at this moment, Kendrick Lamar is the 7th most streamed hip-hop artist on Spotify. J. Cole is the 9th most streamed hip-hop artist on Spotify. So the gap is very narrow, like I said, if there even is a gap, which I don't think neither one of us think that there's a gap between them, because again they are neck and neck. I think the best way, if the people are wondering who we think is better, again, they are better than each other at certain things. I know it might sound better if one of us was to say J. Cole, the other say Kendrick. It's not that easy because it's a give or take argument with these two artists.
It goes deep.
And I think that's the best way we can describe how we feel about J. Cole versus Kendrick Lamar. Both of them, the two greatest rappers of our generation. They're amongst my favorite all time. I have both of them in the top 10. I'm not going to say where today, but I have both of them in the top 10 amongst the greatest rappers. And I really hope we get that collab album, bro.
You mean to or at least a song or something.
Absolutely.
What if they in like a group chat with Drake or something like that? That'd be pretty cool.
And then all three of them drop an album together.
Yeah.
That'd be the greatest rap album in history, I think. Because you have the big three of our generation. We've never seen a big three of any generation drop an entire album together.
Yeah.
So,
but it has to work. If they do it, has to work.
We appreciate y'all for watching, man. Everybody that's been supporting us, keep on watching. We got y'all more content on the way. Give a thumbs up to this video if you liked it. Hit that subscribe button. It helps out a lot. We love y'all. Until next time, peace and love.